Okay, Robert. So just to, for a sense of completeness, as it were, I'm going to go ahead and walk through the bottom layer as well, just so you and I are on the same page. Not a whole lot has changed. I did move things around a little bit, just to make things a little more organized, and we'll start over here. So on the previous video, I talked about everything coming down to the ramp. This is where the ramp would go under the main deck and then wrap around, and it's slowly getting lower as it comes down this way. Now, I haven't included the grades here and how far below uh, the topmost portion it's going to be, because I don't quite know yet. I'm still working on those numbers. Um, but there will be plenty of clearance. It will be 10 to 12 inches minimum, and we'll see what we can get for you without it being too far down and too far up or whatever. So wrapping around the corner, we're slowly going down the grade. I'm keeping the track close to the front of the benchwork. This is both for visibility and accessibility. I want to make sure that you can get to these tracks pretty easily, and then with trains going up and down the grades, you want to be able to see what's going on. So we get down here to module 17, which is this big bubble area. We got your two switch machines. You've got your two crossovers, which have switch machines, so a total of 4 switch machines here. And what this does is this allows you to bring trains in or out from either track on this lower staging yard. The staging yard I haven't changed at all. The only thing I did do is I brought it out to the edge of the benchwork where it was on the original track plan, just with straightening the lines out and stuff like that. It did get pushed in a little bit, so I wanted to reflect the adjustment and pull it back out on the drawing. So it will be hugging the edge of the benchwork again here. There will be about 2 inches between the edge of the benchwork and the first track, so don't worry, if a train falls over, it's still going to stay on your benchwork. Up top here, this is actually the most significant changes of the project. As you know, this blue yard here, as I've drawn it, was actually down here on the inside before, and as we discussed prior, it didn't make a whole lot of sense, because when you bring a train in on this lower staging yard, it would force you to walk all the way around the layout in order to see what was going on for your long-term staging yard. Instead, what I did is I pulled it out to the outside edge of the benchwork, so instead of having to walk all the way around the entire layout to get to it, you just have to walk around the corner. So you've got 4 long tracks here for long-term storage. These 2 tracks on the outer end here, they're still somewhere between 10 and 12 feet. And then we got some shorty tracks here for engine storage or cars that you want to have a little more accessible. Now, the one thing I am playing with the idea here is I want to bring your Y as close to the outside of the benchwork as possible, bringing the switch further back. And this is just drawn with pages, so I don't really have any sense of scale here. So I'll end up laying this out by hand when I build this section of the track. But what I'm hoping to do is to make this Y as small as possible, so you still have the ability to turn a train around, but it's not taking up a whole lot of space, and it's not pushing the switch machine way back here where you are going to have difficulty seeing it. I want you to be able to not only be able to see it, but access it if you need to. But again, it's still going to have a switch machine with a little toggle switch probably right there on the side of the benchwork, so you can still flip that switch back and forth. Meanwhile, the rest of them are going to be manual, just for reliability, simplicity, and all that. Now, what this does do is when I bring this Y switch out, is it does create a crossover section here. Now, if I can bring it into the track here that goes into all of the yard space, I'm going to try to, but I don't know how the geometry is going to work quite yet. I need to actually go through with my track planning program and kind of hard plan this area out, just because we are making the big change, flipping it from one side of the layout to the other. I want to make sure that the geometry works out and all that, but I'll get to that probably in the next month or so, further down the line. Either way, it's still going to work reliably, and you'll still have full access to all of your staging tracks. It's just where this Y switch is going to plug in, if it's going to plug in somewhere over here, or if it's actually going to come out to this far outside track and just be a 4 to 6 foot dead end track here. Just so you can pull a train in and back it out and turn it around. And you'll still be able to obviously park some cars there, some maintenance away equipment, or whatever you want. But regardless, I wanted to make sure that I had that option. And then I just wrapped it around. So this loop is the same. I just redrew it just to get rid of the clutter. And that's also the same reason I got rid of the module separation lines and the grid lines. So nothing on this drawing has changed in that regard. I got rid of those just so it was easier to understand the drawing as it is. So anyway, I hope this helps. Thanks.